This is KIVI, Channel 6, your community-involved station. With Dan Smede, A.K. Lienhart, Ron Watson with weather, and Wayne Dzubak on sports. This is NewsWatch 6 Nightcast.
Good evening, everyone. The eastern seaboard is holding its breath tonight, wondering just where Hurricane Gloria will strike. Ron Watson is keeping track of the hurricane's progress and has a report for us. Ron?
Looks like the Carolinas are actually going to take the brunt of Hurricane Gloria, but it could turn to the north, and as it does, it's going to hit some very heavily populated areas. Here's more on the storm from ABC's Rebecca Chase.
And the Air Force recon here this afternoon again indicates that it continues to move on that northwest track.
Throughout the day, forecasters watched as Hurricane Gloria continued along its curved path toward the east coast. The powerful winds of the 300-mile-wide hurricane prompted forecasters to classify it as a borderline Category 5 storm on a scale that rates hurricane strength from 1 to 5.
Wherever this hurricane does strike, it's like a 1-in-100-year event for that particular area. So it's very historic in that sense.
This is the first time a storm of this magnitude has threatened the Atlantic coast. In fact, there have been only 4 hurricanes this century that were as powerful. The last Category 5 hurricane to hit the U.S. was Camille. The Gulf storm devastated the Mississippi coast in 1969, leaving 255 dead. Forecasters expect this Category 5 storm to strike somewhere along the east coast. Although a hurricane watch has been issued from South Carolina to Virginia, forecasters say a slight shift to the right and the storm could threaten population centers all the way to Maine. Today, hurricane reconnaissance planes continue to fly from North Carolina into the eye of the storm, nearly 600 miles at sea. In nearby Wilmington, residents started stocking up on staples, and the man who devised the hurricane scale was warning that few modern buildings can withstand a Category 5 storm.
The stage is ripe for catastrophic damage. A comparison might be the earthquake damage in Mexico City.
When Camille hit 16 years ago, warning systems were not as advanced as they are today, and that's why forecasters are hoping history will not repeat itself. Rebecca Chase, ABC News, Miami.
The miracles continue in Mexico City. A baby boy and a woman have been found alive in the ruins of a hospital crushed by last week's earthquakes. Bill Blakemore has details in this report.
Above central Cuauhtemoc Square, unnoticed by the now busy midday traffic, possibly still alive, unseen trapped guests of the Continental Hotel. The top 6 floors of its back wing collapsed, and still no rescue efforts. Waiting below, the sons and nephews of 67-year-old Maria Ortiz, who was in room 931.
They would send someone here for, promise us equipment and so on, and rescue team, and they'd leave, and we'd never hear from them again. So
5 hours after sunrise at the headquarters of the different foreign rescue teams, they're still waiting for directions from authorities. One West German dog handler located 3 alive in a building yesterday.
It is really terrible.
you see the people alive there.
His team called for special tools to rescue them. The tools never came.
Today we were at the place. There was no police. There was no ambulance. There was nothing. There was a team from France, doctor. There were people from Venezuela, from America, and from Germany. We worked together. But there were no people from Mexico, nothing. No one.
A French team decides to go searching by itself, directed by a Mexican Boy Scout. Their rescue dogs are named Soyuz and Rambo, a Russian and an American, their handlers joke, who are best of friends. Midday traffic jams, no police escort, double-parked cars make it a slow trip. Meanwhile, nearby, an Italian dog team announces they've just located 2 alive in a building Mexican workers had already started to dynamite. The French team finds the Continental Hotel. With devices that hear through 90 feet of wreckage, they disappear inside.
It'd be very disappointing to find bodies now that were still alive and died after 2 or 3 days without any help.
Experts say some live 2 or 3 weeks. When the French come out, they say they've heard nothing. A hearse arrives. Soyuz and Rambo, with their superpowers for pinpointing those buried alive, were brought in too late. This kind of disorganization is often found in earthquakes around the world because no one country has much experience with the peculiar challenges of earthquake rescue. In any bad earthquake, intense and immediate international cooperation is vital for saving lives. Bill Blakemore, ABC News, Mexico City.
The French Prime Minister denies he knew in advance of the Secret Service plan to sink the Greenpeace flagship in New Zealand. He blames the attack on the ousted French Defense Minister and Intelligence Chief. Don Cladstrup has details in this report.
Prime Minister Laurent Fabius blamed former Defense Minister Charles Ernoult and former Secret Service Chief Pierre Lacoste for sinking the Rainbow Warrior.
La responsabilité de ce genre de décision.
In an interview with French television, Fabius said it was difficult to tell who specifically gave instructions to sink the ship because there was no written order. But he added, "It is my conviction the responsibility lies at their level." Ernoult, who resigned Friday, has adamantly denied he ordered the vessel sabotaged. Lacoste has kept silent and was fired from his post for refusing to answer investigators' questions. Today, the French government named Army Chief of Staff General René Imbaud to replace Lacoste, to clean up the Secret Service and report fully on its role in the Greenpeace scandal. Many questions about the sinking remain. The chief one being, was President Mitterrand involved? According to a survey conducted by the magazine Paris Match, 44% of the French public believes the president knew about the order to sink the ship. According to Prime Minister Fabius, he did not.
Fabius met earlier with the two men he says are responsible. "I'm convinced they acted on the basis of what they thought was in the interest of our country," he said. But the decision they made was bad. Don Cladstrup, ABC News, Paris.
Trust Joyce Corporation has joined the list of other Idaho manufacturers announcing new cost-cutting measures. The Boise-based building materials company has said it will postpone raises for employees and cut benefits in order to save money. As Lane Betancourt reports, this is becoming an all-too-familiar headline in Idaho.
Trust Joyce makes roof and floor supports for all types of buildings, residential and commercial. And basically, there hasn't been much good economic news lately from Idaho companies that manufacture things. Belt tightening at Hewlett-Packard, closure of a Boise mobile home maker, cuts in operation at Boise Cascade Corporation, earlier troubles at electronics companies. Trust Joyce President Walt Minnick says the hard times can be linked to the national deficit, which brings on high interest rates and heavy foreign imports.
Getting a double whammy of high interest rates and a lot of foreign competition simply because the government can't manage its fiscal affairs and even with any semblance of responsibility.
State economist Michael Ferguson says the entire nation was in a recession in the early 1980s. Some states recovered.
But the basic industries, and those are the industries that are concentrated in Idaho, agriculture, forest products, mining, have been hurt by a strong dollar and a high degree of import substitution.
Ferguson says, like other parts of the country, Idaho is evolving from a manufacturing economy to a service and trade economy, with more people working in stores, restaurants, and repair shops. Lane Betancourt, NewsWatch 6, Nightcast.
The fifth suspect in the shooting deaths of two persons at a Meridian bar last month has been identified. 38-year-old Jesus De La Rosa, formerly known as Chino, is believed to be one of the 5 men wanted by Ada County officials when a dancer and a patron of the Hideout bar were gunned down August 8th. Information leading to De La Rosa's identity was obtained from the Salt Lake County Sheriff's Department. 4 other suspects, all brothers, are in the Ada County Jail awaiting court action.
A man in a jogging suit robbed a Boise lingerie store this morning. Ada County detectives say the man took an undisclosed amount of cash from a Cindy's store clerk just after 10 o'clock. He escaped on foot. The robber is described as a white male in his early to mid-20s with shoulder-length dark brown hair. He's about 6'2" and weighs more than 200 pounds. Coming up, accusations begin early this year in the congressional race.
And modern technology is making it easier to track modern criminals. We'll be back.
Dodge has the best of the big three. 7.5 financing or $400 back on Omni, Charger, and Aries K. 7.5 or $500 on full-size pickups. 7.5 or $1,500 on Daytona Turbo Z and Lancer ES. Plus 5-year or 50,000-mile protection. It's a revolutionary deal from Dodge, and it's the best of the big three.
See your Treasure Valley Dodge dealer now. For many years, for their EPA 50,000-mile test, all 4 U.S. automakers have been buying just one brand of gasoline. That gasoline is Chevron. Of all gasolines available, Chevron was the one each of them chose to buy. Nobody told them which gasoline to use, nor did Chevron offer them any inducement other than the quality of its gasoline. Yet all 4 U.S. automakers independently chose Chevron with its patented deposit control additive. Shouldn't Chevron be the gasoline you choose? Chevron says yes.
Now there's something better than HBO, the HBO Cinemax combo.
All right, let's see it.
It's gonna be a super fall with HBO and Cinemax, cable TV's best combination.
This is getting good.
Double your entertainment choices with over 160 shows a month, 24 hours a day, every day. There's always something different to turn to.
Tell me what I must do.
Call United Cable Television today for free installation.
Good plan.
Due to the huge success of the recent Karcher Mall sale, Dan Wiebold Ford in Nampa has an exceptional selection of quality used cars. Most of these are good, clean, locally owned autos with low mileage. You'll find economy cars, family cars, trucks, and 4x4s, the cream of the crop, previously owned autos that you'll be proud to own. And considering the cost of a new car, a good 2-, 3-, or 4-year-old model is an excellent investment. Plus, you have the advantage of Dan Wiebold Ford's red carpet customer service and lifetime free oil changes. Make yourself the best deal on a like-new car at Dan Wiebold Ford in Nampa.
More than a year before the election, State Representative and Congressional hopeful J.F. Chadban is claiming Congressman Richard Stallings is a communist sympathizer. Steve Glauser has this report on a campaign that is taking on shades of the accusations George Hansen and Congressman Stallings slung back and forth in 1984.
Chadban has mailed out 37,000 of these fundraising flyers that label Stallings Jane Fonda's favorite congressman. Take a close look at the caption under this picture, taken when Fonda testified at a congressional farm hearing. Chadban, who went to the trouble of enlarging the picture to poster size for the cameras today, thinks Idahoans won't like what they see.
And all I'm saying from the standpoint of the constituents in Idaho, let them decide. Do they want a congressman that would have a picture taken with Jane Fonda and her background and activities? I wouldn't take my picture with Jane Fonda. And
I was a little hurt because when they called Jane Fonda for her comments, she said, "Richard Stallings, who the hell is he?" My daughter will be devastated because she assumed that everyone knew me.
Stallings points out the picture was cropped. The original shows a much larger group in a less personal setting, but Chadban insists he's not misleading anybody.
We cut out one actress and 4 other congressmen from other parts of the country, and whether they're misled from that standpoint, I don't feel that's misleading in any way.
I'm going to send Mr. Chadban a little note that I have a picture of myself with Ronald Reagan. And if he would like to use that one in his next fundraising letter, I would make it available to him.
Chadban may be growling and snapping like a real candidate, but he insists that he's not, at least officially. If this campaign against Stallings doesn't raise at least $30,000, he says he will cancel his plans to formally declare in November and drop out of the race completely. Steve Glauser, NewsWatch 6, Nightcast.
Idaho Lieutenant Governor David Leroy wants the Environmental Protection Agency to stop what he calls its unwarranted intrusion into the state's water quality issues. Those remarks came at an EPA hearing in Twin Falls. At a news conference earlier, Leroy said the EPA should abandon plans to replace state water quality standards with stricter federal standards.
So I'm suggesting in my testimony to the EPA that they have not adequately evaluated the economics of the proposition. Not only that, there is no scientific support that there's Idaho injury or any need for their proposition.
The EPA is proposing tougher water standards for rivers below dams to reduce fish kills, but Leroy says that would be costly to power users and adds present standards have not been proven harmful to fish populations.
Persons committing a crime in Boise may get zapped into jail more quickly if local law enforcement agencies purchase a new laser print finder that cuts crime-solving time in half. Kyle Safely reports.
The laser print finder is being hailed as the aspirin to crime-fighting headaches. The print finder system, composed of a solid-state crystal laser, produces a flutter of green light that causes fingerprints on objects to glow. The main advantage to Boise police and Ada County officers is that the laser machine can find prints on objects Current crime lab techniques cannot.
Crumpled aluminum foil, concrete, red brick, stucco, things like that that are very difficult through conventional methods, and the laser can help in those areas.
Officers must wear protective orange-tinted goggles while using the fingerprint detector, and the laser machine proved its worth to detectives shortly after evidence from a morning armed robbery in Boise was checked for fingerprints.
How you coming?
We got 3 right here.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And because of its portability, the laser print finder can be taken to the scene of a crime.
If you were going to fingerprint walls or doors and something of that nature, this machine would be extremely helpful. We may end up losing many prints left at a scene because we were unable to see them without equipment like this.
Complete with a TV detector module, the laser print finder carries a $37,000 price tag, which means it may not fit into this year's city and county law enforcement budgets. Kyle Safely, NewsWatch 6, Nightcast.
State House workers thought for a while the Capitol building was on fire. Loud alarms sent employees rushing outside this morning, and when 2 pumpers and a ladder truck showed up, concern deepened. Firemen searched the place thoroughly, though, and found some prankster had pulled an alarm on the 3rd floor. Everybody got out. It's some beautiful spring-like weather today.
You couldn't order a better day.
That was beautiful out there. Ron Watson has the forecast. Stay with us.
Now is the time. Now we have the best selection. Now we have the largest inventory. Now 85s at closeout prices, plus the new 86s. Now is the time at Dennis Dillon Auto Park and Truck Center. Fantastic closeout prices on brand new 85 Mazdas. GLC 4-door Deluxe from $6,838. 626s from $8,450. And your last chance to get a brand new RX-7 for under 10 grand. Plus new 86s arriving daily. Now we have the inventory. Now we have the selection. Now is the time at Dennis Dillon Auto Park and Truck Center. South Orchard at the freeway.
Have you found that making a decision on long-distance phone service is like comparing apples and oranges? AT&T talks about quality, apples. Others talk about savings, oranges. It's been difficult to compare until now, because now there's ExecuLines from Executone. With ExecuLines, you'll get both quality you can hear and savings you can see. So stop trying to compare apples and oranges and call ExecuLines for long-distance phone service that's just peachy.
How would you spend extra time if you had any? Mountain View Equipment can help you save time with dependable Kubota tractors and the full line of implements available for lawn and garden, landscapers, homeowners, and farmers. Mountain View Equipment can demonstrate the versatility, economy, and durability of Kubota. For a unique combination of easy handling, performance, power pack, and full of fun, plus a full 2-year warranty, visit Mountain View Equipment, Meridian Exit I-84, where all the equipment is. Tonight's weather is brought to you by your masonry block companies in Napa, Meridian, and Ontario.
Treasure Valley, a great place to live, but even here we pay a lot for fire insurance, and who knows what it will be tomorrow. I found a sure way to save money on insurance rates. They're based on the material you build with. Just compare for yourself the base rate of fire insurance on a steel building with wood frame inside and a concrete and masonry block structure. Quite a savings. Call your masonry block dealer today for the best insurance rates. You're in strong hands with concrete masonry block.
On a scale of 1 to 10, today had to be at least a 10. Perfect day. Temperature's very pleasant, the wind's dying down. A very pleasant day and a fairly nice evening. 50 degrees in Boise, 51 in Napa and Caldwell. The wind's fairly light. Barometer at 30.14 and holding steady. Humidity 57%. There's been no precipitation in the last 24 hours. Most of the nation had a fairly quiet day, except along a cold front that reaches from the Great Lakes across the Ohio Valley, then down into the Gulf Coast. They had some strong showers and thunderstorms, dumping as much as 1.5 inches, 2 inches in a very short period of time. Also strong gusty winds. But again, the major weather word is Hurricane Gloria, and she is very strong. At this point, she's tracking towards the west, but The jet stream that comes down and then back up is expected to take a turn and then go right up the Atlantic coast. And as it does that, it's going to hit some fairly heavy population areas. So the entire East Coast is really bracing themselves. Now, how does Gloria rate so far? She's a borderline 4 and 5. Now, what that means is the winds are gusting anywhere of 155 miles an hour, sometimes stronger. The tides running near 18 feet. The damage anywhere between extreme and catastrophic. So Gloria definitely is very strong, and it is going to hit land. It's just a matter of time. Sometime tomorrow is going to be a very busy time along the East Coast. Our jet stream continues to be out of the northwest, and this is keeping things fairly stable and dry, keeping things a little bit cool in the morning hours. However, under the sunny skies, things warming up quite a bit. You notice a cold front in the Gulf of Alaska. This is actually heading our way. It will reach here sometime on Friday. We'll start to see the clouds increase in the northern part of the state for tomorrow. From McCall onto the north, by tomorrow evening, we'll see the cloud cover and then a slight chance of showers there by tomorrow night. Here, we'll see the brunt of this for Friday and also for Saturday. The afternoon high today, 71 degrees, pretty close to the average of 74. The morning low, though, quite cool at 39. Neither one of those a record. 95 the high, 28 the low. Sunrise 7:36 and sunset tomorrow at 7:35. Regional temperatures 72 in Napa and Caldwell. Meridian had 71, back to 72 in Ontario. Mountain Home with 40, 71, and light winds 68 for a high in Twin Falls. Weiser had 74 and 34. Clear skies dominating not only Idaho but the entire northwest. Tomorrow that will also be the case. We do, however, see a system that will be coming down from Canada, increasing the cloud cover in the northern half of the state by tomorrow afternoon or evening. Here it'll be on Friday. Your wake-up weather then for tomorrow morning: sunshine, a little bit cool. Temperatures will be in the 40s, but we start to see a system threatening the northern part of the state, and that'll actually be here for Friday. Forecast for tonight, just about right. Fair and cool, and then tomorrow, sunny and warm with light winds, 76 the forecast high. In the Magic Valley, fair and cool tonight with light winds and mostly sunny and warm tomorrow, 73 for the forecast high. In the West Central Mountains, fair and cold tonight, then sunny Thursday, but we'll see increasing clouds by night, 28 the low tonight. It's going to be chilly in Fairfield, down to 29, 74 tomorrow's high under sunny skies. And the extended outlook, wouldn't you know it, just in time for the weekend, it's going to get chilly down into the 50s for a high on Saturday. Showers on Friday and Saturday, starting to dry out on Sunday, but again, it's going to be very chilly. So I just wonder when the next time we're going to see 80 is.
I don't know, but you could deliver a little bit.
Beautiful day tomorrow.
Forecast.
Ron,
anyway,
it will be
right?
next July.
Maybe.
You know,
Go
Dan
ahead.
Smede whines almost as much as Pocatello.
I tell you, nobody could whine as much as Pocatello. I'll tell you what, Pocatello has been complaining about not hosting the state basketball tournament. Those complaints may be getting them in trouble.
Ooh, and we'll be back with sports.
First, a few words to describe Fabco. Clean burning, high efficiency, beautiful, revolutionary with self-cleaning glass, and a few ways to enjoy Fabco. Stoves, fireplaces, fireplace inserts, and now where to get your Fabco.
Fireplaces and stoves at Fabco Fireplace in Eagle or at our new factory outlet in Karcher Mall.
It's Happy New Nissan Year. The 86s are here, so come and make your deal now on the Nissans that just about sell themselves. Are you keen on a king cab, fond of a 4x4? Think a sport truck is sexy? They're all here. The great Nissans with more reasons to buy than any other trucks in their class.
It sold me.
Now's the time to start a Happy New Nissan Year, so make your deal now.
Make your day, come and save. Make your deal on a Nissan.
Farrah belted slacks are now on sale at Falk's ID. Smooth, comfortable fit, and durable, stretchable 100% Dacron polyester make these Farrah slacks our most popular style. The price is popular too. Right now, they're only $16.99, regularly $22. So choose one of each color, navy, brown, or gray at your nearest Falk's ID store.
Fox ID is your neighborhood department store.
Yourself to the savings at Paul's Markets and help our local farmers and ranchers in the process. This week, all 5 Paul's Markets are featuring locally grown meats and produce. For example, this week, USDA boneless top sirloin steak is just $1.99 a pound. Davis Campfire boneless pork leg roast, $1.59 a pound. Falls brand whole smoked picnic ham, 69 cents a pound. And large plump whole fryers, 49 cents a pound. Help yourself to the savings and help our local farmers and ranchers by shopping all 5 Paul's Markets.
You know, threats of a lawsuit from Pocatello officials prompted the High School Activities Association to review last April's decision allowing Boise to host the 1987 Boys State basketball tournament. Well, that made some people in Pocatello pretty happy, but it appears today that Boise is still the top choice as the 87 host. Indeed, Pocatello's negative comments and threats of a lawsuit seem to be working against their case, not for it. Those threats of a lawsuit and other pressures have come across as blackmail to some board members. Pocatello has the football, volleyball, and debate state tournaments, so most people don't understand why they're crying over not hosting the Boys State basketball tournament as well. Ironically, the crying may be for naught with Boise the host in '87.
I think that probably would be a good possibility, but naturally it would depend on what happens here in '86. I'm sure that that'll be predicated. But I think that that would have been the case anyway. I think if we'd have really done poorly here, and they could show the facts that they could do better in Pocatello with their facility, then I think that even though we had talked about it being here in '87, I think that that would have been a possibility. Blackmail, so to speak, is probably being done, but I don't think it's being done on the part of school people. I think it's outside concerns that are attempting to blackmail the Activity Association into making changes. And I don't think that, I think that could have a negative effect on it.
Seems like it's a big chess game right now, and the pawns may be the student athletes themselves.
I couldn't agree more. I think that all of this has really been distasteful to me from the standpoint we're talking about how many dollars they bring into a community. And I think the thing we ought to be talking about is how much value can be gained by our athletes.
It seems board members are so turned off by Pocatello's threats, they've considered moving the basketball tournament up north rather than to Pocatello. One thing's for sure, Pocatello's obsession with the almighty dollar may torpedo any chance of ever hosting the state basketball tournament, and for that matter, they could be in danger of losing the state football tournament in 1986 as well. Moving on to another controversial subject, who's going to be Boise State's quarterback Saturday night against Montana State? I say it's Hazen Choate. The official word will be made tomorrow night, but you know Hazen has been working out well, and he's got a good attitude, according to head coach Lyle Setensich. That should be enough to earn his job back. After all, Choate's trip to a local bar the night before the Cal Davis game was worth a one-game suspension, but not a season-long benching. In the meantime, Boise State seems to have shaken off any effects of that 37-10 loss to Nevada Reno. The Broncos seem ready for Montana State, and Setensich says his team will play well.
I think we'll come back and play as hard as we can play, and I think we'll play exceptionally well. You know, we should get a couple of kids back. I hope John Francis is back and able to play. Some of the nicks and bruises we had in the offensive line with Despot and Smith and DeWitt, they should be okay. And I think it's kind of a prideful thing for us, and I think we'll come back and play awfully hard. It's kind of like what we did to Reno last year.
6 turnovers by the Bronco offense against Reno could have turned the BSU defense against their own offensive teammates. It happens on some teams, but so far not to Boise State.
That happens, but we haven't had that at all on this team. You know, it's a good feeling. We still have confidence in the offense, and defense just got to take care of themselves.
The Keith Stanwood Benefit Scramble Golf Tournament will be held October 3rd at Purple Sage in Caldwell. The entry fee is $25, and all the proceeds will help defer costs incurred in the fight against a rare form of cancer. Keith Stanwood is the pro at Purple Sage. The cutoff for entry is October 2nd. Baseball tonight, the Chicago Cubs got a 2-out pinch hit single by Chris Spire to beat the New York Mets 5-4 this afternoon. The loss dropped New York to 4 games behind St. Louis in the National League East. The reason, St. Louis beat the Phillies tonight 6-3. Elsewhere, Pittsburgh over Montreal 8-2. Cincinnati outlasted Atlanta 4-2. It was Houston over Los Angeles 6-4. And San Diego leads the Giants 4-2 in the 5th. In the American League, Cleveland over Oakland 7-2. The Yankees took Detroit 10-2. Boston beat Toronto 4-2 in 13 innings. Milwaukee blanked Baltimore 3-0. Minnesota beat Texas 5-1. And on the coast, California leads Chicago by 2 in the 3rd. No score, Kansas City, Seattle in the 4th. And tonight at the BSU Pavilion, there was a rare sporting event here in Boise. Or is it an entertainment event? You be the judge. It's called pro wrestling. It may not be totally for real, but I'm not going to tell that to the Road Warriors, namely Hawk and Animal, nor to Bruiser Brody or Alex Smirnoff, who is 265 pounds and supposedly hails from Russia. I'm not going to tell them that it's not for real. If entertainment is what you want, though, then the BSU Pavilion was the place to be tonight. If what was happening in the ring wasn't enough, you could always start watching the crowd. Some of the fans put on a better show than the wrestlers themselves. Indeed, some of the fans were throwing harder punches. At any rate, it was good for a laugh, and after all, that's what entertainment is all about. And we'll be talking more about pro wrestling tomorrow at 6 o'clock on NewsWatch 6.
It looks incredible.
Hey, the ladies were there wrestling tonight, too. Tomorrow we'll show you a little bit about that.
All right.
Now, the trivia question. When Wilt Chamberlain played basketball, what did he always wear on his right wrist?
His wristwatch, of course.
Nope.
Copper bracelet?
A bracelet of some kind, I'd say.
Whoops, a rubber band. You know, a lot of people get nervous. I don't know if that's the reason, but just a rubber band. Something to play around with.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I guess so.
And he could have started a trend. And when we return, area school children have been having a wild time. Animals visiting the classrooms.
Maximum selection, protection, and savings every time you shop Checker. This week, save to the max on Pennzoil 10W40 motor oil, 89 cents per quart. Prestone antifreeze is $2.83 per gallon after rebate when you buy 2 gallons. Plastic Oat spray paints are $1.99 each, and Sun induction timing lights are just $26.88. But hurry, this sale ends September 29th at your neighborhood Checker Auto Parts.
Get the Checker Maximum, get the max.
Every day you sit here in the hot seat solving the whole world's problems but ignoring your own. Like how to pay for education, how to afford retirement. This is madness. You should be sitting here with a financial planner from IDS. An IDS plan helps you solve problem number 1, how to live better today and get what you want tomorrow. Really, shouldn't you be sitting here? IDS, Personal Financial Planners.
On October 2nd, the curtain is coming down. It's your last chance to get 8.8 annual percentage rate financing on any new Nissan truck. Your last chance to share in Nissan's best year ever. Miss October 2nd, and you could miss saving hundreds of dollars in interest payments. Up to $600 on this Nissan truck. Up to $1,300 on this one. The end is October 2nd. The name is Nissan.
Did you see it? If so, you'll want to experience a grand opening sale beyond imagination. The largest electronics store ever is open with more selection.
Stokes Brothers Superstore.
An RCA programmable remote video recorder is just $259.
These tower speakers are half price, just $49 each.
And this compact microwave oven is only $97.
See your newspaper for the lowest prices in town.
Stokes Brothers.
A sale.
Beyond imagination.
Well, as we all know, show and tell time in school sometimes turns up an occasional animal, but today some Boise Elementary students were treated to quite a show and tell time. An Oregon-based wildlife biologist who tours the country on an educational mission brought his mini wildlife zoo to students at Ustick Elementary School today. The tour, which is supported by public donations, educates youngsters on the different types of animal lifestyles.
Center in Grants Pass been operating for about 20 years or so, and we release wild animals back to nature after they've been injured within the rehabilitation process. Those that cannot be released back to nature because of their injuries or for whatever reason, we have integrated into our educational programs.
And in his menagerie of animals, People Love to Hate Nitchley showed students a weasel, a python, a fuzzy tarantula, and a turkey buzzard. 2 other Boise schools will host the animals this week.
I wonder what he's going to add to his menagerie next year.
I have no idea. A wild potato.
Could be. That's our report tonight.
And thanks for including NewsWatch 6 in your day. Good night, everyone.
The following is the editorial opinion of the management of KIVI Channel 6.
Now that downtown Boise is no longer the chosen land for the sacred regional shopping center, the city's focus has shifted away from those 8 blocks of undeveloped wasteland. But the fact remains that the heart of Boise, its downtown, must be redeveloped to make Boise the kind of city everyone would be proud of. Boise needs a vital downtown area with a mixture of business offices, retail stores, and restaurants. But that's not going to happen if the many and varied interest groups do not stop fighting each other. Ada Citizens Together, Uptown Boise, Citizens for Progressive Government, and the North End Neighborhood Association are highly visible examples of the different groups with as many different interests. We at Channel 6 believe they should all pull together, pool their resources, and work for a revitalized downtown. That's our opinion. We would like to hear yours.
Support